So hello everyone, thank you for your attendance. Here are Anna Martirosyan, Ani Abavian, Ani Makarchan, Violin Depis, and Vlad Davtyan as a group 7 from Market Studies, Market Research in American University of Armenia. And our research is based on trust in coworkers. Now let's have an introduction about our topic. Our research question for the first is, how does the level of trust in coworkers within different organizational cultures affect employee job satisfaction? And here is a small background between our research. We are trying to understand how trust among the coworkers is connected to the workplace dynamics, employee well-being, and performance, organizational effectiveness, conflicts resolutions, and communications. We are aiming to get deeper into different professional situations, such as job positions, seniority, size of the company, etc. And the main focus is to see the companies, if the companies have any impact on a trust, if the size of the company have any thing related to our trust. Now Anna will continue about the methodology.
Thank you, Vlad. Thank you for introducing that. I'm going to talk about the methodology. First, let's discuss the population and sampling design. Initially, we aimed to have 200 people in our sample, but currently we have only 60 plus answers, and we aim to target all age groups and genders. Most of the responders were females. In our case, also we targeted Armenia, French, and Belgium, and all of them had different types of professional experience. So, diving more into the research design and the methodologies, let's go deeper. So, we conducted a detailed study that analyzed several critical aspects of work environment, including job satisfaction, trust, efficiency, organizational culture. Our aim was to understand how those elements interact within a workplace and how they influence each other, as mentioned by my teammate. Our research utilized cross-sectional study design, allowing to capture current data from employees across various organizational cultures. One of our focal points was the level of trust among coworkers. We measured this using Likert scale with statements such as "I trust my colleagues to fulfill their responsibilities," or "I feel comfortable sharing ideas with my coworkers." The result revealed significant insights into dynamic of trust within the teammates, which will be discussed further in the presentation. The other thing that we measured was the organizational culture. We did this through qualitative and quantitative measures by using open-ended questions and multiple choice questions. And the last thing we measured is job satisfaction. This was evaluated by using Likert scale items. Questions like, overall, I'm satisfied with my job and I feel valued and recognized by my colleagues, helping us to understand the overall sentiment over job satisfaction in organizational culture. And Ani will talk more about how we implemented the survey.
Thank you, Anna. So now about the implementation, as we don't have slides for this part, make sure to catch the information. So we designed a comprehensive survey instrument that is composed of three main parts, the three main sections: trust in coworkers, questions focused on the perceived reliability, communication, quality, support from the colleagues, among the colleagues. The second part is organizational culture. Questions aim to understand the communication styles, the decision-making processes, leadership behaviors, and employers' involvement within the organizational culture. And a third part is job satisfaction. Questions explored aspects such as fulfillment, motivation, Facebook recognition, growth opportunities, work-life balance, and so on. So we utilized digital platforms to distribute our survey, such as Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, and also used Google Forms to create the questionnaire and to distribute through this type of channel. And we have two types of data collection. First is primary data collection. The responders were employees from various companies and organizations from different countries, including Armenia, France, Belgium, but mainly the responders were from France. We targeted a mix of entry-level staff, mid-level managers, and also senior executives to have a huge diverse perspectives. And our secondary data was gathered from the relevant information like academic papers, some kind of report, and so on. Thank you. Now Ani will continue.
So the results that we got from our survey. So the 36% of our participants were from 18 to 24 years old, and the 34% were 25 or 34 years old. 13 and 1% were 45 and 54 years old. Only 8.2% were 35 to 44 years old, and 4.9% were from the 55 to 64-year-old age group, and only 3.3% were 65 or older. And as was mentioned by Anna before, the majority of our participants were females, approximately 79% of them. And also the majority of the participants had the entry-level position in their company, and then 27.9% had mid-level position in their companies, 26.2% were senior level employees, and only 4.9% were executives in their companies. And around 60.7% of the participants were full-time employees, 24.6% were students, 11.5% were part-time employees, and 1.6% were unemployed, and 1.6% were retired. So approximately 80.3% had completed master degree, 9.8% had bachelor degree, and education 8.2% had completed their doctoral or higher degree education, and only 1.6% had only high school or equivalent education level. And around 39.3% of the participants thought that AI development is going to have a positive impact on their jobs future, and 8.2% thought that it's going to affect their jobs future negatively, and around 52.5% had no idea what to answer to this question. And as you can see, the same questions result on the graphs. Yeah, and now Violaine will continue with the analysis.
Yeah, thank you, Annie. So yes, for the analysis, we used Jamovi tool. So we performed a correlation matrix and a chi-square test. So for the slides, just for the first finding, we are going to show you both the correlation matrix and the chi-square test. But just you can keep in mind that both the same test gave the same results. So it turns out that the management within the organization, when it fosters a culture of trust, has a real impact on the level of trust of employees. So employees consider that decision making in their organization reflect common values when the management fosters a culture of trust. So we can see that we have a strong correlation between these two variables. And here the chi-square test give the same finding for this question. So another strong correlation we found is that the management who fosters a culture of trust has a huge impact on the fact that people are satisfied with their job. We have like 0.600 for Ayer Pearson value, which is very, very huge. And the fact of being feeling comfortable to discuss issues related to work within team members has also a huge impact on the level of satisfaction on the job. So the correlation is very high too here. And the fact that coworkers support each other achieving common goals is correlated to job satisfaction too. So, and another strong correlation is that when you rely and you can rely on your colleagues, there is a feeling of the fact that everybody in the team can support each other to achieve common goals. And our hypothesis that feeling acknowledged for the contribution in the company is not correlated to the size of the company. So here we have an example of lack of correlation between those two variables. And I will just speak about that no correlation questions just after. So to interpret that, so the company has a real impact on fostering a culture of trust. And the feeling of employees being like involved in decision making and sharing common values depends a lot of the management fostering a culture of trust. And of course, the fact that coworkers support each other and trust each other has a huge impact on job satisfaction. But what we saw is that the size of the company, the level of education and gender, age and job position seems to have no impact on the level of trust among the coworkers. So we have a few limitations to that research. It's maybe because it's the reason why we didn't find any correlation between gender and the level of trust, or age and seniority and the level of trust. The fact is that we have an overrepresentation of women. We have too many young people, so from 18 to 35, 34. And we have only 61 answers and not 200, and an overrepresentation of people who have a master's degree. The reason behind that is maybe that we shared the survey with people who have the same background as us. So we are a majority of girls in the group. So the likelihood to sharing survey with girls, friends are higher. And we have like bachelor or master degree. So there was a huge likelihood to share the survey with people who have higher level of education. Another suggestion and limitation who appeared during the survey is that we didn't tackle the issue of remote work, and it was suggested several times in the additional comments of the survey. So maybe we could have targeted this topic. And I will give you, Vlad, the next slides.
Thank you very much. Now let's talk about recommendations. So overall, companies can really have an impact on the trust of coworkers among their workplaces. So recommendations should be to be more open about the company goals and strategies with employees, to have meetings to get advice and be advised. Employees can work on having friendly relationship with the coworkers to increase the level of trust and then the degree of collaboration, which is more important in this situation, and also to ask the opinion of your colleagues in different work aspects, since they will feel more valued and appreciated and will increase the trust. Now the conclusion part we have. To conclude everything said, it will be more than 15 minutes, so we'll be as short as possible. With all the biases and limitations we had, we have some important parts to conclude. So the first is that neither gender, age, job position, level of education, nor the size of the company have any impact on the level of trust in workspace. Company can foster a culture of trust, and trust really impacts on the level of job satisfaction and diversification of it. Here are our reference lists, our appendix, and that's all for now. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you very much.